Have you ever wanted to make your writing sound, just a little more sophisticated? A little more precise? Well, there's a powerful tool in the English Grammar Toolkit that can help you do just that, the noun clause. So let's dive right in. Okay, let's start with a quick puzzle. We're about to look at a sentence, and there's a part of it that's highlighted. I want you to think for a second. What is that part of the sentence actually doing? What's its job? Here we go. Where he lives. Now, it might look a little like a question, right? But it's not. This whole group of words, it's acting as a single thing, a single idea. It's the thing that I don't know. And when a whole group of words works together to act like a noun, that's what we call a noun clause. So now that we've seen one in action, let's go ahead and get a more formal definition to really lock this concept down. It really just breaks down into two simple ingredients. First, a noun clause has to have its own subject and verb. And second, its whole job, its entire purpose in the sentence, is to act like a noun. That's it. It's basically a clause doing a noun's work. So, how do they actually work? We know what they are, but what are the key features to look for? Let's break down the building blocks. Okay, first and foremost, a noun clause isn't just some random bunch of words. It's a proper clause, and that means it has its own little engine inside of it, a subject and a verb. Take a look at this one. In the clause that he is honest, the word he is the subject and is the verb. See? It's that internal structure that makes it a clause and not just a simple phrase. All right, the second feature is a huge clue. Noun clauses almost always kick off with one of these introductory words. Think of them as signposts. The second you see words like that, what, where, or whether, your grammar radar should start pinging. You might just be looking at a noun clause. Okay, so we know how to spot them, but what do they really do? Well, noun clauses are incredibly versatile. They can do a bunch of different jobs inside a sentence. Let's put them to work. The first and maybe the most important job a noun can have is being the subject of a sentence. The main character. And a noun clause can absolutely do this too. In this sentence, just ask yourself, what was it that made me laugh? It wasn't a single thing. It was the entire idea of what you said. That whole clause is the subject of the verb made. It's the star of the show. Next up, a noun clause can be the direct object. All this means is that it's the thing that's on the receiving end of the verb's action. So, what did he wonder? He didn't just wonder about a place. He wondered about the whole concept of where they had gone. That entire clause is the object of the verb wondered. Noun clauses can also pop up right after prepositions, words like about, to, for, or of, and they act as the object of that preposition. Right here, the preposition is to. Pay attention to what? The answer is that entire clause, what the teacher explains. So the clause is doing the job of being the object for to. And last but not least, they can be a subject complement. Now, I know that sounds complicated, but it just means the clause comes after a linking verb like is or was, and it basically renames or defines the subject. Here's a great way to think about it. The verb is acting like a giant equals sign. The truth equals that he never called back. The noun clause is just giving us another name for the subject, the truth. Simple as that. Moving on to section 4, avoiding common mistakes. Because, knowing the rules is great, but actually using them without tripping up is the real goal. So let's look at a couple of super common slip-ups that are actually really easy to fix once you see them. Okay, this first mistake is a big one. It's all about word order. So many people write something like, I don't know, where is he? It sounds like a question, right? Where is he? But here's the thing. It's not a question anymore. It's part of a statement. So you have to flip the word order back to a normal statement. Subject, then verb. The correct way is, I don't know where he is. And that brings us to the crucial point here. I really want you to remember this. Noun clauses always follow statement word order, not question word order. Even if it starts with what or where, it's not a question, it's just a noun. So it's always subject, then verb. All right, mistake number 2, the missing that. Now, this one's a little tricky because, let's be real, we drop this word all the time when we're talking. We say, I know she's coming, and it sounds totally fine. But especially in more formal writing, it's often better and clearer to include it. I know that she is coming. It just removes any doubt and adds a little bit of polish. It's a small change that can make a big difference. And that brings us to our final section, your new grammar tool. Let's put everything we've talked about together. It's time to recap the main points so you can feel totally confident with this. So here it is, your 5-point checklist for noun clauses. 1. It acts like a noun. 2. It usually starts with a signal word like that or what. 3. It's got to have its own subject and verb. 4. It can be a subject, an object, or a complement. And 5, the big one, it always uses statement word order. If you can tick these boxes, you've totally got it.